Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to part 43 now, I think, of my Hyperion progression series. It has been quite a while since I've made an update on, I guess, my account in general. I've been doing a lot of things, as you guys have seen on my channel, regarding specific characters such as my Xenon and my Wild Hunter, and a lot of people have asked about what's going on with my Battle Mage. Every once in a while I do show the character on stream, usually just to do things like bossing. It is a big part of my account's income, but recently I've been picking up this Battle Mage again because I do still really enjoy this class, and I kind of want to be able to do further content with this character. So I guess you can consider this as like a bit of a return to the Battle Mage, and to be honest, even though I want to come back to this character, I really haven't done too much with it. Since the last video on this character, I really haven't made too much progress on things such as my gear. For the most part, it's basically the same thing. I don't think I've changed anything at all. I think the only major change is I actually blew up my eye patch that I used to have. So currently I'm wearing the Sweetwater monocle. I did get lucky enough to actually get a new eye patch, so it's currently sitting at 12, but I don't see myself pushing this eye patch anytime soon. But otherwise, I really haven't made too many gains on the gear on this character, but I have made some small bits of progress here and there. The most notable one is that it does have its second mastery now. When I stopped playing this character, I didn't have the second mastery, I believe. And when they released it, I went ahead and grabbed a few levels. You can see here it's at level 4. And more recently, actually, I finally got around to getting Soul Janus. So for those who don't know, Soul Janus is an amazing training skill. It gives a bit of extra EXP, but it also helps us clear maps a little bit easier. Whether it be by giving us Soul Janus Dawn, which is a ball summon that you could put down, much like Urda Fountain, or in this case I'm using Soul Janus Dusk, which is kind of like the Rune of Lightning, just passively clears mobs around me as I attack. Nonetheless, I'm very happy that I finally got around to getting Soul Janus, so then if I do decide to push this character, which might be a possibility with an upcoming Night Trip event, Soul Janus will help out a lot, and I'm looking forward to playing this character again. Of course, my Hexa hasn't really moved too much because I've been investing a lot of my resources into my other characters, especially my Wild Hunter and my Xenon. So I haven't really been doing anything like dailies or High Mountain on my Battle Mage, unfortunately. I've been just putting them on the other characters. So if I do come back to this character, it will probably get most of its fragments from mostly training. But as I said, I spent 125 just the other day unlocking Soul Janus. Other than my Hexa, I actually did recently make some small gains outside of my gear. Quite recently, we got the newest Inkwell notes, and as part of that, we managed to get a few things for free. They gave us these 5 or so mystical familiar cards, and these allowed us to reroll some unique fams in hopes that we get some better lines. And actually for my character here, this Battle Mage, I didn't ever make any unique fams all the way up until 275. I remember spamming mostly epic fams, and I actually had to recently make some unique fams to be able to reroll them. I decided that I didn't want to make more unique fams and reroll them on either my Xenon or my Wild Hunter, so I decided to make some here on my Battle Mage, and I rerolled them on stream. Before rerolling anything, my fams were actually pretty underwhelming. I only had pretty much 2 usable fams, one of them being this large item drop fam, and I also have this 30% IED fam. Other than that, I was using either more HP fams, as you can see here, just 2 lines of healing, or perhaps a 15 IED fam. I'm pretty sure when I soloed Black Mage on this Battle Mage, I only used a 30% IED and 2 15% IED, so basically any gain would have been amazing for this character. And from the blue cards, which I rerolled on stream, I did in fact manage to hit some pretty usable lines. The first one that I hit was this 6% magic attack line. This familiar I was already super happy with because it is so much better than 15% IED. And I believe in terms of boss damage, it's roughly about 20%, maybe a little less than 20% boss damage, which of course is an amazing gain. Boss damage tends to be the line that we're all looking for familiars. I'm already pretty happy with this. And then on top of that, with the final fam, because I rolled this 6% on the 4th one, on the 5th one I managed to hit 5% magic attack. Pretty incredible rolls. I wasn't expecting anything. As we all know from unique fams, most of the lines are pretty useless. Just being able to come off with 2 extra usable lines on these familiars is amazing. And with both of them being attack, I think this adds up to just about 30% boss damage, maybe a little bit more. I'm super happy with it because they replaced these 15% IED fams. Just an awesome gain for this character, and I'm very, very happy with it. I was genuinely a little bit worried about this character because it's 275. I can't really go back and farm fams as efficiently because I'll be taking a massive EXP penalty. So just being able to get lucky here with these fams that I had farmed on other characters, I'm super happy with. Now you guys might be wondering, why am I putting all this effort into trying to go back onto this battle mage? The main reason for me trying to push this character again and just revisit my battle mage is because I would like to try to join some Grandis parties. For those who don't know, Grandis bossing includes the likes of these 3 bosses, Seren, Carlos, and Carling. All of these bosses drop pretty amazing stuff. Seren drops, of course, the emblem, which is the best in slot emblem, of course. And from Carlos and Carling, you'll be able to get pieces that unlock the next tier of items called Eternal Gear. They replace basically your CRA gear, which is what I'm currently using, and I think what most players will end up using. But if we manage to clear Carlos and Carling, we'll be able to slowly work our way towards Eternal Gear, which is pretty amazing. It does take a long time to be able to get those, and I'm actually pretty lucky to be able to find a party that will be willing to take me. I am on the weaker side. I believe I'm on about 100 mil combat power with all my links and Legion on, and at 100 mil combat power, it is definitely on the lower side, although I do have more than enough Sacred Force to do a decent amount of damage. I don't know exactly if I have full damage to Green Dot in any of the bosses. I think I have enough damage to at least Blue Dot in Carlos, but we'll just have to see. I am just grateful that they're willing to take me on their parties, and yeah, you guys will see me running these bosses pretty soon. I'm looking really forward to it because I've actually never cleared normal Carlos before, and I've actually never attempted E-Carling before, so it's a whole new boss I'm going to have to learn. Hopefully it doesn't go too poorly. I really don't want to let my team down. I really got to start learning these bosses so then we can actually clear without me dying out. But regardless, I'm pretty happy that I'm coming back on towards this character. I'm basically going to be trying every bit of content available in the game right now. Even though E-Carling is just the lowest tier of the boss, at least I'm going to give this boss a try. And yeah, I'm just genuinely very excited to try new content. Again, I've never tried normal Carlos or E-Carling before, so I'm super excited to see how this goes. Just to round things off with my battle mage, I am still in the middle of liberating this character, of course. Since the first month that I soloed, I have been running in a party because I really wanted to save the effort of doing multiple long runs. I'm pretty happy just running with a quick party to get the clear out of the way and just progressing with my liberation. I recently just finished up my Damien clear, so next month I will be clearing Hard Wheel solo for my liberation mission. So at this pace, I believe I'll be able to liberate sometime in January. Unfortunately, I don't think that's within the time window to use the cubes that we can get from a cube sale, which we are projected to get in November. So unfortunately, I don't get some cheap cubes to cube my weapon, but I'm pretty happy just being able to continue with my liberation. That's pretty much all there is with my battle mage, but it isn't the only character on my account that has made gains recently. Let me move on to another character I'm super happy to show you guys that has been making progress after all this time. It really has been a while since I've shown this mechanic on a proper video. I have shown this mechanic as a bossing mule a few times on stream, but here we go. She is back, my mechanic, on camera, and I'm super happy to share the progress on this character with you guys. For the longest time, my mechanic has basically been a bossing mule, and only until recently, I've been pushing the levels on this character just passively with event rewards and things like that. You can see here, now she is currently level 240. I think the last time I showed this character, it was like around level 235, so have been really pushing the levels here with the events, and I do plan on putting a lot of magnificent growth potions on this character to get it to 250. Once my mechanic gets to level 250, I'll be able to do all the Arcane River dailies, just 200 mobs per area. Currently, I'm a bit lazy. I don't really want to do Arcane River dailies on multiple characters because I am still currently working on my Wild Hunter. But at least for my mechanic, I have made some changes and gains that have made this character a lot stronger. The first thing I would like to show you guys is actually my equipment. I have finally got around to 16 starring all of the gear. This was actually something I put off for a while, but until the most recent 5, 10, 15, I did actually 16 star everything that she owns. So at least now everything does damage. All these extra little bit of stars makes it a lot stronger. That's a big boost for the account, and just getting like 5 or 6 items to 16 is a huge game. And not only that, I did have a lot of money that I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do on my account with. I used it all to reroll my potentials and my equipment. The main reason is because the intention of this character was actually to farm with it. And you can't farm on a character without having dropped Meso gear. So I went around and I managed to get all of my equipment to legendary with lines of drop or Meso obtained, and also a little bit of stat as well. As you guys can see here, all of my accessories either have Meso or drop, and on top of that they also have a little bit of extra stat, whether it be all stat or just dex. This makes sure that I can farm on my mechanic whenever I feel like it, and I also don't lose too much damage out from rolling away onto drop and meso, because typically these would be 2 lines of stat, so I am losing out on a lot of damage, but this compensates a little bit while still being able to maintain a usable line like meso, obtained, and item drop. Big progress on this character, but this is not the only gain that I've made. Again, I re-rolled a lot of the gear, so I went around and tried to tier up a lot of my items. I have re-rolled all of my CRA gear to unique at least 2 line, so you can see my hat is currently 15%, the top is 12, and the bottom is 15 as well. The weapon is currently sitting on double prime line on unique, which is more than enough for the time being, I think. 30% boss damage and 10% attack. And as for my Abso gear, I'd randomly rolled a bunch of pretty insane lines. You can see my shoes are 3-line dex, which is amazing, just free stat I suppose. My gloves aren't legendary like we would hope, but they did hit 3-line of dex as well on unique, so I'm pretty happy with 27% here. My shoulder is sitting at 11%, which is fine, and my cape is sitting at 14% on epic. I didn't really want to push this to unique because 14% is actually surprisingly better than my shoulder, so I'm pretty happy to keep that. And of course, most importantly, I did fix up my WSE on my mechanic. I hit IED and 2 lines of attack on the emblem, which is way better than I expected. I was really just hoping for 21% attack, but we'll take an extra 35% IED for sure. And for the secondary, I managed to hit IED and 2 lines of attack as well on unique. Obviously, this is not an ideal line for the WSE, but we'll take whatever we can get. I'm not too fussed trying to min-max this because at the end of the day, it is a farmer slash bossing mule. Maybe when I try to push this character a bit further, I might try to fix it, but honestly, just these lines, perfectly fine for me. So with all those gains, my character is now sitting at 7.5 mil combat power, and I believe the last time I showed it, it was barely 4 mil. So not only is the combat power much higher, so then I can actually do my bosses way more conveniently, I have my meso and drop gear already set up, so then I can even farm on this character once my Wild Hunter hits a point that I'm happy with. And of course, I do already have the IA required to make it a farmer. I have this meso obtained with item drop IA. The mechanic is basically ready to go, and maybe one day I will continue playing on it. And I'm just super glad that I got to come back towards this character. I made it a long time ago as a side project, and it got constantly benched for other side projects, so being able to come back towards my mechanic makes me really happy, and I'm glad that the items were very, very lucky. Like having a proper 3-line emblem and a proper 3-line secondary, even though it is on unique, I can't be unhappy with. This character is in a super good spot, and if I ever decide to try to push its gear, it won't be hard. I think I am not far off of being able to run things like hard lucid and hard will in a carry. And all I'm really missing are the arcane symbols. I think just being able to push the arcane symbols will be the biggest gain. So once I do decide to play on this character again, there's a huge room for improvement, and I'm super happy that the character is there. Anyway guys, I think that'll be all for this video, and kind of a short update on what my account has been doing outside of the Xenon and the Wild Hunter. I just want to say thank you to everybody who's been following my channel so far, especially those who found my channel through my Battle Mage series. I'm glad that I can do a little bit of update here and there, and I think honestly there is a good chance that this might be the final part of my Hyperion series, I guess season 1. Depending on what I do, we might just be starting a season 2 on my Battle Mage once we start doing the Grandis bosses. We'll just see how it goes. I don't know if I'll be able to make constant updates on my Battle Mage or anything like that, but at least you guys can see how my account is progressing. Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys have enjoyed the videos so far, please give them a like. It helps me out a lot. And if you want to keep up with my content, feel free to subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all of you guys a lot. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. What do you guys think? What's gonna happen? If I had to pick, I would probably put my money on run out of meso. On my Dreamy Belt in Kronos, I spent, I think, about... Ooh, 19. I think in Kronos, I spent about 14 bill on my Dreamy Belt, and it didn't get to 18. 14 bill. Oh. Yo, there's a chance, guys. Oh, you guys are believers? Oh, it's cooking. But nah. Yo, what the hell's going on? This thing is so tanky, excuse me? Oh my god, it actually went to 22. That's crazy. Yo, that was a lot of taps from 20 to 22. Did anyone count? That was insane. How many times that failed? That is actually insane. What, I got to 21 like 6 times? 7 times? To get to 21? That is actually messed up.